What's up, you savages? It's Greg from Knife MK2 USA, and we're doing another episode of Amy's show, What's on the Table? Man, I've been tearing it up today. I've been on social media. I've been on podcasts with people. I just did a thing out of Canada. What do we got going on? There's Russia invading Ukraine. We got leftists in Washington ruining the country. We're begging Middle Easterners for oil while we're shutting off our own pipelines. The Canadians are up over there smoking pot, letting their whole country go to beans. The whole country's been effeminized, and their testicles have shrunken while they've been smoking pot and snowboarding and skiing for the last 4 decades with reckless abandon. And what's left is a bunch of guys whose hair looks like girls, a bunch of softies. They got skinny little finchy hands. And the truckers, the few men that are left in the country, are being thrown in prison by a blackface wearing, passive aggressive, racist leader, duly elected several times. That's what's going on in the world in a nutshell. Fortunately, we have awesome things happening right here. If you pan down, you will see. Get that camera down here.
Okay.
We've got an M48 headed to Helacious Blades. This is one of our crimson M48s. It's got a dark crimson blood red, and this one's maybe a little bit too tight. I'm gonna send this one back for a little loosening. It still flips, but it's an RCH tight. Blood crimson red chassis and integral back strap. Armor lube, clip, over travel stop, hardware, spring side, and blade. Super sexy knife. This is one of these knives, people get this knife, they go, I can't believe this is a Medford. It's just a modern thing that I'm doing. Just before that generation of knife, we had a Praetorian Slim come out. This is a really great little knife, super light. It's got really masculine lines. This has got a little filigree on it, kind of almost banknote scroll. Those of you who've got a little firearms background, engraving experience. Rolls on bearings. It's got lovely positive detent, great lockup. It's got my hidden breaker. So if you want to break something with this, you kind of use it like a knock. You know, you can knock on a window to break it instead of jamming your whole hand through and getting cuts on your forearm. So it's got little knock concept, which I really like about it. You could also knucklehead somebody with this. You could whack a dude in the head and it would like get his attention. Nice little knife. You can Spidey flip it from the bottom. Just a lovely little knife. Praetorian Swift in all black. We've got some bronzed out titanium hardware. This knife's got a lot of cool contrast for an all black knife. Flips real knife. Locks up like a bank vault. It's got that great Medford sound. It's kind of a chunky, badass little auto. We have a green and tumbled combo of that. I love this green Type 3 Class 2 hard anno. It's got about 7/10 penetration, 7/10 buildup with bronze hardware. I think the green and bronze looks awesome, especially if you're into like the Green Lantern maybe. Just a sexy little knife. Same on the clip. Everything about this thing is just sexy as can be. In drop point, obviously, instead of Tonto. Back to one of my Gen 2 knives, the Infraction. I was in a little bit of my Italian phase when I drew this knife. I was feeling like doing something that looked like it was a sports car going down the road. I wanted something that had sexy, sleek lines. I also wanted something, even though it was dainty, where it had a whole lot of blade out in front of your hand. And this does. Very hard pressed to find this blade to handle ratio anywhere else in the knife business. It's done really well for us. Great design and product. I mean, not tapping myself on the back, but it is a good design. It's been a good product for us. So we've got contrasting blue and black between the hardware and the frame. Just lovely knife. Now, if you happen to be Victor Nishimoto and you're watching this video, I'm not going to polish it for you, Vic, and it's not because you're Japanese. It's because you're a cunt. Back down to the knives. This on belay, okay? Where'd you get that from? You ever know when you If you ever go do some rappelling, they put a safety line on you, hook it around a carabiner or some kit. Somebody holds the rope and you say you're on belay. Well, I put this big slotted lanyard to put a flat nylon band lanyard in here for a big heavy use knife. And I just thought the knife is on belay. It's like it's on belay. That's where it got its name, on belay, from. This is a surprise big knife. It's a really big knife. It's one of our most expensive knives to actually make. And guys just love the thing. But we don't make tons of them because it's not currently in fashion to make gigantic knives as much as it used to be. So it is for the rare manly knife carrier. This one's got a We the People. It's got a We the People on it, and it's got a real silver on blue theme going. Super sexy knife. Let's go down to one of our classics. This is one of my Gen 1 knives that's been through a lot of iterations. So this is a CPM 3V blade in Vulcan finish. Praetorian T. It's got bronzed out handles. The handles have been sculpted. I don't know what we call this pattern. What do you know what this pattern's called?
Predator.
So this has got the Predator sculpting on it. Now I started doing this years ago, and it's gotten a little more codified and systematized over time. I had some name for this, but we're calling it Predator. It's one of the oldest sculptings that I showed everybody in the building how to do years ago. And then what you do is you blast it to flatten it off, and then you buff off the top of it, which gives you these highlights and contrast, and then you anodize it. Makes for a really cool dimensionality of look, a really cool contrast of textures. And it's got an organic feel that sinks into the hand. It's just a great knife. And as you can see, it was made for my size paw. It's just perfect for me and guys with bigger hands. And if you've got smaller hands, it sinks in there and accommodates you really well. Really aggressive jimping across the top for indexing or glove use, glove wear, cold weather conditions, getting your gloves to index in on that. A robust breaker and lanyard hole at the end. And then, of course, all anodized gold hardware in complement to the two tones you see in the handle. Just a lovely knife and a beautiful kind of Canyon de Chelly colored Vulcan finish on that CPM 3V. Back to my very first folder I ever designed, the TFF1. This has got a little sweet spot in my heart. It's a knife for a big hand. It was meant to complement my Navoir T I used to make. If you ever come to the factory and you get in my office, you'll see the very first knife I ever made, and this is actually a size and weight complement to that. This has got the Japanese artist Hokusai's wave on it. It's been engraved in a few different layers and had some contrasting anode done to it. Satin blade. You can tell this thing's got a very hand-brushed, hand-gloved feel to it. It's a very handmade knife made in our little factory. Beautiful action. Lockup is beautiful. No wiggler play, either radial or axial. No lash on the close. No play on the open, soft or hard. Just a lovely, lovely knife. Sounds awesome, and it's got the great Fat Daddy clip on it that we didn't used to put on every knife. It's got our signature Fat Daddy clip on it, which is a super sexy little addition. Let's see if this has got a little thing I want to wipe off right here. Yeah, just an awesome knife. A knife for all seasons with some sexy decoration on it. So, Helacious, you asked for it. You got it. It's a little unfiltered and raw because that's how I bring it. I dropped the C-bomb. I made fun of Canada. I called it out in Russia. Lambasted liberals, leftist Democrats, and energy policy. So goddamn it, go buy a pistol, America. Greg Med for Knife, MKT USA. Friday in the Shack 3. I'm out.